Okay, balik po tayo. Alam po ninyo, it's time for our Kalusugan Tip of the Week. And we're gonna give you some tips on how to maintain a good lifestyle. Alam po ninyo, hindi man mahalaga kung anong gawain mo. Pwedeng nasa bahay ka lang, pwedeng ikaw ay busy-busy nangangalakal, o empleyado ka at lahat na yun na napakadaming pressure sa bahay, ang presyo ng pangangalaga at pag-aaruga sa mga bata, pagluluto, paglilinis ng bahay, paglalaba, pagplansya. So napakadami pong pwede tayong pag-abalahan o we can worry about or stress about. But kailangan meron tayong sa likod ng ating pag-iisip, alam natin ang mga rules on how to maintain our kalusugan. So, bibigyan namin kayo ng ilang mga tips po kung paano itong gawin. Ang pinakamahalaga dito yung binanggit ni Doktora kanina. Matuto tayo, paggising mo sa umaga, minom ka ng tubig. Umpisahan mo sa isang baso, kung magagawa mo hanggang 2 baso, yung iba nga niya nag-recommenda pa hanggang 4 na basong tubig. Sa umaga, bago ka kumain, yun. Bakit? Pagka daw tayo natutulog kasi, nawawalan tayo ng oksino sa katawan. Alam ba nyo, pag natutulog ka, pinapawisan ka din. So, nag-expend ka din ng moisture and water through the normal process of sleeping. Maski na naka-air condition ka, papawisan ka din. There are parts of your body where that sweat comes out. Pero mahalaga kasi yun din ang paraan ng katawan para alisin ang mga toxic sa katawan mo, no? So, it's good, but you need to replenish. Tsaka pangalawa, yung pag-inom mo ng tubig na ganon, begins to encourage and wake up your organs too. So, na-encourage ang metabolism mo na mag-umpisa ng bumangon. So, dito, kailangan natin tingnan. Uminom tayo ng tubig sa paggising mo sa umaga. Pagkatapos, isang bagay na mahalaga. Ano man ang ginagawa mo? Punta ka ng opisina, punta ka sa parang, ano man. Magbaon ko ng ilang prutas na maaari mong kainin during the day. Pagkat mahalaga po ang prutas, magandang source yan ng mga antioxidants at saka ng enzyme, etc. So, yun ang gawin mo. Kasi ang mga prutas po ay magandang source ng nutrients yan, mga vitamina, at saka ng mga fructose na mahusay para sa katawan mo, hindi magbibigay ng spike yun. Okay. So, kung ikaw naman ay nasa sa syudad o nasa sa, huwag ka naman kumain ng junk food. Lalo-lalo na, wala pa ako nakikita ng artikulo na nagsasabing ang French fries mabuti sa katawan. Kasi bakit? Yung pagkain lahat ng yung mga fast food na ganun, na hindi mo kasi malaman kung ano ang ginagamit na langis, pang prito, pang luto. Baka maraming trans fatty acids yan. Baka mamaya may mga saturated fats yan, hindi mo malaman. So, hindi mo rin malaman kung anong pumapasok doon sa pagkain na iyong kakainin. Lahat yan naghahabol. Siyempre, gustong kumita at gawing sa pinakamurang paraan ang pagkain na ihahain sa iyo. Kanya hindi mo matitiyak. Kasi hindi naman nakukuha lang sa lasa ang nutrition ng pagkain. Kasi pwedeng masarap pero hindi mabuti sa iyo, katulad ng asukal. O kakain ka ng matamis na matamis. Ilalabas mo, diabetiko ka niyan. Kanya dito po kailangan natin tingnan. Tapos, matuto kang mag-exercise. Alam po ninyo, mayroong madaling ideya na kailangan pupunta ka sa gym para mag-exercise. Maski na nakaupo ka sa silya, pwede kang ganito mag-exercise. O just, yung bang ganito, yung tinatawag natin na parang self-exercise, hindi mo kailangan ng equipment. So lang as during the day, meron kang yung katawan mo na-activate. Yun, pwede mong gawin. O kaya, pwede ka din take 5-minute break, maglakad ka. O pa kaya, 5-minute break, you do deep breathing. O kaya, magbe-break ka ng 5 minutes. O ayan, quiet yourself. Itahimik mo ang sarili mo, mag-meditate ka, manalangin ka, makipagpanayam ka sa Panginoon. Sa gitna ng trabaho mo, bakit? Meron naman siyang kinalaman sa ginagawa mo Di ba? So yan po. O kaya magpanikpanaog ka doon sa higdanan. Kung ikay nagtatrabaho sa 2nd or 3rd floor, panikpanaog ko lang. Gawin mo 2-3 times a day. It's a good thing. O kaya magbaong ka ng mga nuts. Yung selection mo ng nuts, yung almonds, cashews, pecans, walnuts, at saka konting pasas. Kasi ang pasas kasi meron ding konting sugar yon for energy. At tapos siguro mga alas 3 mo kainin yan. Bakit? Kasi pag kinain mo yung mga nuts na yun at 3 o'clock, nagbibigay ng enerhiya yun sa iyo para sa patapos ng araw, hindi ka naman igangay mawalan ng gasolina sa iyong tiyan. O kaya, pwede mo rin gawin dito, mag-juice ka ng mga prutas, magbaong ka ng mga juice, no? Pwede mo naman paghalu-haluin din yung mga juice na yan. Pwedeng banana, nandiyan ang apple, nandiyan ang pineapple, o kaya yung mga local fruits. Pwedeng papaya, ayan, paghalu-haluin mo, and then you take some of that periodically during the day para nagkakaroon kang magandang energy booster din po yan. Pero kung wala ka badalang ganung prutas, pwede ka naman pumunta sa what they call a juice bar and order your own juices. So dito po natin nakikita na mahalaga ito. Isa pang papayo ko sa inyo, deep breathing. Knowing na paghinga mo, bayaan mo lumaki yung tiyan mo para yung ilalim ng baga mo maabot ng hangin na iyong nilalanghap. Ganon sa mas efficient ang exchange ng oxygen at saka ng carbon dioxide sa katawan mo para mailabas mo yung carbon dioxide, hindi ba? At yung oxygen na yun, kailangan yun ng ating mga cells. At alam mo, Doc, I've been reading too much about it na, wow, so many illnesses have been traced to the lack of oxygen in the body, hindi ba? Although now you can get some supplementation, liquid oxygen, lagay mo sa tubig mo para madagdagan. Now, how do you find people reacting to your brand of integrative medicine?
Well, they appreciate it more because we have time to talk to them about lifestyle changes in the clinic. And then I always tell my patients, you go back to your specialist. When you're sick and when you need these medications, you might probably need them for some time or until you're able to make that lifestyle change. And it's very hard. It would not be advisable also to stop your medications without your doctor's advice.
Alam mo kasi, Doc, last week we had as a guest here somebody who was a specialist in female diseases and problems. And based on the texts that come in, and we received an awful lot of texts last week, alam mo, nakita namin, napakabilis magreseta ng doktor, tanggalin yung matris, tanggalin yung matris, tanggalin yung matris. Meron kang mayamat, tanggalin yung matris. The remedy, this is where sometimes it's a problem, because there are so many other alternative remedies in order to get rid of myomas in a natural way without surgical intervention. Pero doon ako napoproblema na napaka-narrow ng approach, no?
Ganito kasi, sir. If we have the time not to do surgery when it is not obstructing any organ, for example, if it is a colon cancer and it's not obstructing your colon in the early stages, we can just do natural therapies to do it. But if it is already obstructing the colon wherein you're not able to move your bowels anymore, or you're bleeding so much, then we have no option but to do surgery.
I disagree with you that there are times na
Yes.
talagang that kind of medical practice, yung bang makikialam ka na talaga sa loob, may be necessary. But for example, I found out that based on the text that came in, medyo nagkaroon ng irregularity sa menstruation. Kasi meron daw myoma, ang remedy agad, tanggalin ng hysterectomy agad. But even in the States, they did a study of this, that 80% of the hysterectomies done there were unnecessary. That high percentage, that means ano nangyari yun? Wala ito eh. Hanap buhay
sir.
na lang ito eh.
In a nutshell, lifestyle change is all about lifestyle medicine is all about taking charge of your diet through nutrition, exercising, and also with regards to stress management. Now, for example, a lot of diseases are lifestyle diseases. For example, autoimmune diseases, cancer, hypertension, diabetes. Now, there is even a movement now in the States. It is called the raw food movement. Raw food movement.
Ito na yan?
Yes, they came up with a study, a documentary, and it's now in DVD that says Simply Raw Reversing Diabetes in 30 Days. They were able to enroll 6 patients in the program, and after 30 days, all of them were weaned off insulin except for one patient
But
who was
that's
type
basically
1.
type 2?
No,
Type
4
1?
were type 2 and 2 were type 1. At the end of the program, all of them except the type 1 patient was able to be weaned off insulin. So what does it say? Diabetes is merely a mineral deficiency, and it's also you have to manage the diet in terms of giving raw food where the vitamins and the nutrients are intact, and also to be able to give complex carbohydrates in terms of all the other things that we find in vegetables. So if we're able to do that, composed of nuts, seeds, fresh vegetables, juicing, fresh salads, then diabetes will really be controlled. But the problem is, lifestyle change is the hardest part in treating the patient. They would not want to stop their alcohol.
Ayaw baguhin
They
yung
would not want to stop their
paninigarilyo.
smoking. And then they don't want to manage their stress. They're still running all the time. So this is the hardest part. If we're able to just really focus on our diet and just not depend mainly on the doctor to have that magic pill, then life can be better.
Okay.
Yes.
From 0927-731-4679. Gandang umaga, Doc. Taga-Olonga pa po ako. Mrs. Eva po ako. Pwede po malaman ano po ang gamot sa lamig sa katawan? Alam mo, it's a very, very interesting question because you were just talking about it na ang attitude natin, paano kung anong gamot ang inumin ko para malis yung lamig sa katawan. But I think yung lamig sa katawan is more of a lifestyle thing. That means ang circulation mo hindi masyadong mabuti.
May imbalance, sir. Yung sa
may
Chinese
imbalance
medicine,
somewhere,
Qi. Yun nasabi, vital force, yung vital
hindi
energy
umiikot
sa loob.
ng maigi. Merong blockage somewhere. And therefore, it's not simply a matter of uminom ng isang pharmacological pill. But there are many other remedies for improving your circulation. There are many natural supplements that you can take and that's, for example, one of them is, and there's a lot that's been written about it, yung ginagamit nila, yung cayenne pepper. At nabibili mo na ngayon yan in a capsule. At bibilis ang tataas ang rate of metabolism mo because your circulation will improve. That means, lalo na for example, ang lamig ng katawan mostly nag-uumpisa sa paa, tsaka sa binti, tsaka sa kamay, no? Kasi yun ang pinakamalayo sa puso mo, eh. Kanya kung kailangan na mag-improve ang circulation mo, yun ang mga una magbebenepisyo. For example, pag nahiga ka, malamig ba ang paa mo? Kasi pag higa mo, siyempre, iba na ang sirkulasyon, no? So, pagka umiinom ka nung umisan yung cayenne pepper, kanya lang, dito sa atin, meron bibigay, cayenne pepper, pa sinasamahan ng mga pildura ng malunggay. Together with the cayenne pepper.
And I would also want to talk about cancer, sir, because cancer is very much in our family. And yes,
sorry to hear that.
I would want to tell patients also, now, why people get cancer and others don't? Why is it? Yeah. And,
Lifestyle yan talaga,
Yes, first of all, I also tell my patients, especially the diabetics, a certain percentage of diabetic patients will develop cancer later on. Why? Because we have to think about cancer cells growing in a person's body, why they grow in another person's body and why they don't grow in another person's body. It's because you have that so-called fertilizer growing inside your body, and sugar is one of it. So cancer cells thrive in a high sugar environment. So
highly acidic environment, and that's what sugar does.
Yeah, sugar. So, for diabetic patients, maybe, kasi yung iba, hindi natatakot yan eh. Kahit sabihin mo na, meron namang insulin. Pwede, but insulin now is known to be a pro-inflammatory drug. I mean, it causes more inflammation in the body. It might control your diabetes, but it's a pro-inflammatory substance that we inject in our body. So, the good thing about it is really lifestyle change in terms of nutrition management. And
studies support that already. They have said cancer is fundamentally a man-made disease.
Precisely.
In other words, tayo gumagawa ng problema sa atin sa cancer. But
alam mo yung si Doktora, being a family physician, but she went all the way out of her pinag-aralan, and then she went even to Malaysia.
Yeah, Malacca.
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 I trained
Yun,
under a
oh.
Chinese-Malaysian doctor, and
And
those
siya
are one
nagpa-train.
of the mentors. Kasi sir, what's happening about integrative medicine here in the country? There's no talagang there's no residency training for that, and you just have to work your way through and find mentors and
Well-
attend seminars and medical observership on where you can learn.
Doc, we have all the biases of American medicine about alternative medicine. You know, in the States,
Yes.
they harass practitioners of alternative medicine. They go to the extent of, because ang relasyon ng FDA at saka ng mga pharmaceutical sa Amerika is already notorious. They are protective of pharmaceutical companies. And they harass doctors who are practicing alternative medicine to the point of closing down their clinics.
I would not want to call what we do alternative medicine, because alternative medicine are health practitioners who practice other modalities of therapy, but they're not MDs. Okay, integrative medicine are MDs.
Well, I think that
They are
that is a
doctor of
dis-
medicine, trained in both ways. They're trained the Western medicine way, so when you come to them, they know the side effects of the drugs that you're taking. They know how to manage these Western medicine drugs, and at the same time, they fill in the missing link of what Western medicine cannot offer.
You know, and I actually like your approach to it, but I also will tell you from my own personal experience, I've come across doctors that are absolutely terrible in their practice. I almost died, I know, when they were prescribing things to me that they didn't know anything about. When there is no clinical symptom, all of my tests are negative, why will you give me controlled antibiotics? I almost died because of it. And then for them to tell me, well, we've never had this side effect before. Hey, come on, you're supposed to be a specialist. No, I think the problem is that there's nothing wrong with allopathic medicine, but the one applying those things must have a broader approach to the issue of wellness, a broader perspective. Integrative medicine is wonderful, and that you are able to look at different modalities.
Yes.
And then choose the best modalities that
Yes.
might be applicable, because you are taking into consideration things that are normally taken by allopathic medicine.
Yes.
The problem is when the doctor refuses to look at anything else. That's where the problem comes in.
Yes.
But I am glad that more and more doctors now are becoming broad-minded and beginning to look and are realizing the limitations of an allopathic medical
Yes.
approach.
Yes. And I think here in Metro Manila, it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Because like big institutions like St. Luke's already have their integrative department, and then
Oh, they're even taking the pioneering move now, even with respect to stem cells.
Yes, University of the Philippines, the PGH, they also have their integrative department. So we're getting there slowly, but still with a lot of resistance though.
Yeah. From 0916-736-1553, actually, karamihan po ng tao misinformed about proper nutrition. Kasi po, madalas tayo yung mabombard ng mga commercials ng mga pagkain di naman wala makakabuti sa atin. Totoo po yun, pero the choice is still ours. No? You get bombarded, in effect, we are nagged into trying to buy their products, no, lalo na sa mga fast food. But we have a choice. We are free agents, we have a choice. Hindi naman po kailangan na padigawalaan natin at tanggapin natin lahat ng advertisement na lumalabas.
Nakakatuwa nga kasi sir, kasi those ads, TV ads, talagang they really influence the consumers. I had a
Para bang nilalaro ng tao eh.
I had a patient na taga-Bukid.
Oo.
Talagang taga-Bukid. He was a farmer. Tapos, before him came another patient with a stroke. So, he had weakness of his left body. So, talagang he was walking na nagwulilim. Tapos, he was looking at the patient before he came in. And then he said, alam mo, doktora, nag-iisip talaga ako, yung mga stroke na sakit na yan, sakit yan para sa mga mayayaman. Nagtataka, sabi niya ganyan. Tapos kamot siya sa ulo niya, nagtataka ako, bakit ngayon? Ang dami-dami doon sa bukid namin, nag-i-stroke. Eh, sakit naman yan sa mga mayayaman, hindi sa mga mahihirap. So, I was asking him, you know, you shouldn't wonder, sabi ko sa kanya, look at your sari-sari store there in the bukid.
Ano binibenta mo?
Tingnan mo ako, ano nakasabit. Tapos sabi niya, ano Dok? Tingnan mo, meron yung mga betsin, merong mga instant noodle, meron yung mga seasoning, yung mga, hindi na lang ako magsasabi ng mga,
lahat
ng mga brand names.
sugar-filled
Yung,
soft drinks.
yung,
Naku.
yung kahit ano na lang, yung seasoning, kahit ano, yung isda mo, you mix it with it, you marinate it with it. Sabi ko, ano yan? Titingnan mo yan, those are highly laden with salt, seasoning, and preservatives. And each and every day you take that, it adds up to all these things and it makes your body toxic,
Alam mo,
tsaka nakakataas ng blood pressure.
Doktor, sa probinsya, malusog yung mga tao kasi natural yung pagkain
Ganon.
kinain nila. Hindi sila tumupunta sa sari-sari para bumili na lang ng puro delata.
Ganon.
Yun ang kaibahan doon. Kanya ngayon, yung sakit dito ng mga tamad dito sa Pilipinas kasi kaya nilang bumili at mayroon silang salapi, ayun, nagiging sakit. Ngayon, nagiging sakit na din ng mga nando sa bukid. Kasi tinatamad na rin sila.
Alam mo, hindi lang sa mga sinasabi ng pagkain. But the best is actually go natural.
Oo.
Kaya, yung sometimes...
Sariwa.
Sariwa, maganda. Pero sometimes, they want to hit madalian, katulad ng mga vitamin pills, ilalaglag nila. Pero don't you know that these vitamin pills were actually formulated because they found out na bakit yung mga tao namamatay yung in the early
Dati, hindi
40s, no?
namamatay.
Mga 45 years old lang. So they start studying, kulang naman mga vitamina, kulang mga all the different vitamins. So what they form is, ano bang sa vitamin A ang meron? Anong compound? Anong vitamin B, vitamin C, anong mga compound? So what they do is, they get a compound and they formulate into a vitamin capsule.
Pero kung ginagawa nila yan, or they manufacture an artificial vitamin,
Correct.
katulad ng vitamin C, you can get the natural or you can get the chemical equivalent.
So,
But ibang epekto sa katawan. Maski na iniinom mo yung vitamina, pero kung hindi nagagaling sa natural sources, it does not necessarily work the same way. For example, I'll give you an example. Vitamin E that's being sold now, one is artificial, one is natural. Di-alpha tocopherol and D-alpha tocopherol. Very different. The effect is very different.
now,
Hindi ko mo tinawag na vitamin C, E ngayon, ng pharmaceutical, hindi sinasabi sa iyo kung ito from natural sources o hindi.
Yeah.
Problema ka.
Now, here is what happened. When you take all of these vitamins, they're compound. So, anong sinasabi ng mga siyensya? Always take your vitamins with food. Bakit? Kasi pag na-digest ang food mo from the gastric system into the small intestine, it will now form amino acid, very fine amino acid. Kaya yung amino acid encapsulate para makapasok lang sa katawan. But the point here is like this. Ang question, the body recognizes natural, the body doesn't recognize yung synthetic. So, how many are being utilized? Only found out
Konti lang pala.
Mga 40% lang. So, what they do now is they progress it, and then they if that is so, let us go into natural. So, what they do is they come up with all natural at ginawa nilang compound. So, going back to square one.
Back to natural.
Natural and
Okay,
important.
from 0919-221-2562, saan ka naman po makakabili ng natural food sa Manila? Ang organic food naman ay napakamahal. Yung mga available sa market, loaded with pesticide. Tama ka, kapatid.
Meron akong
Lahat
tip
ng
niyan, sir.
baboy na kabilin mo at lahat ng manok at lahat ng baka, puno ng steroids, puno ng hormones, puno ng antibiotics. Ngayon, pag kinain mo lahat yun, pasok, tama ka, medyo mahal nga ang organic foods. You can buy na organic chicken, mas mahal sa natural. Pero ang ginagawa ko, alam mo, doktora, umibili ako natural chicken. Tapos pinapapatay ko at saka ako dahil inuuwi. In other words, ayoko yung manok na hindi ko alam kung saan ang galing at anong kinain. O kaya baka mamaya nasaksakan pa na kung ano ng mga fluid liquids yan. So, it's a real problem. It's a real dilemma. Alam po ninyo, maging patient tayo because I think unti-unti yan, as more people demand it, gaganda. I don't understand why, for example, red rice is more expensive than white. Bakit? Hindi mo na kinikis-kis yung brown. Bakit pa ganun? Ay, naku, we have run out of time. Si Doktora April Del Rosario Lopez, yan po ang telephone number niya, 025420478 at 065-212-3551. Ang mobile number niya, 0915-706-2589. Ang email address niya, canas, canas202 at yahoo.com. Kanya lang ang practice si Doktora sa Cebu.
I'm in Mindanao, sir.
sa
but-
Mindanao,
oo
rather,
pa.
ha?
But we're trying to arrange things here in Manila.
Para meron din kayong makakonsulta rito. Alam po ninyo, I'm sorry that we did not have enough time to really discuss so many other issues that we have to deal with, but I hope some of the tips that we left you regarding maintaining a healthy lifestyle and managing your lifestyle is something that you can remember, put in the back of your head, teach it to your children, teach it to your family, and start them early to know how to take care of their kalusugan. Salamat po sa inyong pagdalo sa umagang ito. Thank you, Doktora, and thank you, Brother Vic. We'll see you next week. God bless you.